I never planned for you to matter this much. I never planned things poorly. That's important to understand about me. I think ahead. I read situations early. I see patterns before they fully form, and I adjust accordingly. Planning isn't something I do casually. It's something I do instinctively, like breathing. So when something happens that I didn't plan for, it doesn't just surprise me, it stops me completely. You stopped me completely. Not all at once. That would have been easier to catch. It happened the way fog moves, so gradually you don't notice it until visibility is already gone. One day I looked up and realized you had become significant without ever asking my permission to be. Without announcements, without pressure, without a single dramatic moment I could point to and say, that's where it started. It started everywhere simultaneously. That's the part I couldn't defend against. I noticed it first in how I listened to you. I listened to most people from a distance, processing, evaluating, staying slightly removed because full presence is something I give carefully and rarely. But with you, distance kept collapsing. Not because you demanded it, because something in me kept choosing closeness before I consciously authorized the choice. That bothered me. I interrogated it the way I interrogate everything, looking for the logic underneath, the pattern that would make it manageable. But the more I examined it, the less manageable it became, because what I found wasn't infatuation, wasn't novelty, wasn't the temporary electricity of something exciting and new. What I found was fit, and fit is far more dangerous than excitement. Excitement fades predictably. Fit just keeps revealing itself in new places, new moments, new silences you didn't expect to feel so full. I started noticing your absence before you were even gone. That's when I knew something serious had happened. When I'd be mid-thought and unconsciously wonder what you'd make of it. When something funny happened and my first instinct was toward you. When I achieved something and the celebration felt slightly incomplete until it was shared with you specifically. Not anyone, you specifically. That specificity is everything. Loneliness is general. Missing someone is specific. And I was missing you during moments you hadn't even left yet, which means you had already claimed space inside me that I hadn't consciously offered. I don't give that space easily. Ask anyone who knows me well. I am warm but boundaried, open but architecturally protected. I let people close enough to feel connected but rarely close enough to matter structurally. It's not coldness, it's precision. I know what deep attachment costs, and I spend it carefully. But you got in before the calculation finished. And the strangest part, I don't think you were even trying. That's what makes it so hard to rationalize away. If you had been strategic, I would have seen it. I noticed strategy immediately. It has a particular smell, a particular rhythm that my instincts flag without effort. You weren't performing closeness. You were just being, and somehow your simply being was enough to dismantle every careful structure I'd built around my emotional interior. That's not something I planned for. That's not something I knew how to plan for. Nego many nibodid plan for, and here's what I've learned. In love, in life, in everything, the people who build real security never leave their future entirely to chance. I didn't just learn that emotionally. I learned it financially. I wrote a whole book about it. Every wealth principle I've tested, every mindset shift that actually moved the needle, every honest strategy for taking control of your financial life, it's all inside. If you're tired of feeling like money is something that happens to you instead of something you direct, this book was written for you. Link is in my bio and pinned in the comments. Go get it. What unsettles me most isn't that you matter. It's how naturally you arrived at mattering. There was no gradual warming up, no slow convincing, no moment where I consciously lowered my guard and decided to let you in. You didn't enter through the door. You were somehow already inside. And by the time I noticed, you had already rearranged the furniture. I've tried to reverse engineer it, tried to identify the exact moment significance crossed into something deeper, but I can't find a clean line because there isn't one. It wasn't a moment, it was accumulation, small recognitions stacking quietly until the weight of them became undeniable. The way you hear what I'm actually saying beneath what I say out loud. The way your presence makes certain rooms feel different. The way silence between us never feels like absence. It feels like continuation. The way I instinctively trust your perception, even before I've verified it. These things didn't arrive dramatically. They arrived the way dawn arrives, so incrementally you can't catch the exact second darkness became light. You just look up, and the world is different, and you realize it's been changing the whole time you were looking elsewhere. I've accepted it now. Not reluctantly, honestly, because denying it would require a level of self-deception I'm not capable of. You matter, deeply, specifically, in ways I didn't architect and couldn't have prevented, even if I'd tried. And maybe that's the most human thing about all of this. We spend so much energy planning our lives, our careers, our finances, our futures, our carefully managed emotional exposure. We build frameworks and strategies and protective structures. We try to stay ahead of everything, and then one person arrives who wasn't in the plan, and the plan quietly becomes irrelevant. I never planned for you to matter this much. But here we are, and for the first time in a long time, I'm glad something didn't go according to plan.
Well, as much.
Before you go, if this resonated with you, if something about the idea of taking control, of understanding the deeper mechanics of your own life, spoke to you, then I need you to check out my personal finance book. Because that same energy, of finally seeing clearly, of stopping the cycle of reacting and starting to build intentionally, that's exactly what this book is about. Real strategies, real mindset shifts, real financial transformation for people who are done drifting and ready to decide. The link is in my bio and sitting right there in the pinned comments. Click it. Your future is worth 5 minutes of action today. Meow, my Jalmanis, Baptino